Welcome back to Football Daily Weekly. I've got Adam.
Hello.
And Jennifer, aka Jenny.
Hi.
Who scored? Who did score?
There's a few people scored.
I'll tell you who did score this weekend, or at least Monday night, was Man City. That was a pretty good game for Jovetic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad, was it? I think they're looking good, City, aren't they?
Strength in depth.
Yes, I think that's the main thing we learned from the game. It's just insane that a player from last season, Jovetic, barely featured. He comes back now, scores 2 vital goals for them, and yet they've got Dzeko, Aguero, and the Grado there as backup. And the thing that I thought was even more impressive, that they didn't even look like at their very best. You know, Yaya Toure didn't look fantastic, you know, that sort of stuff, and yeah, they still managed to beat Liverpool quite comfortably.
Yeah. So their second goal was really nice, wasn't it? Like a long passing sequence and then lovely finish.
Not as long as Tottenham's 483 passes to a goal, but still good. Yeah. Pretty sure that's the exact number.
So now I'm sort of, I don't know whether to reconsider before the season I was like, Chelsea are going to win the league. You know, they're the favourites. But now looking at Man City, I just think they've got, so you look at Chelsea, you've got Costa up front and Torres. Yeah. City have all these strikers we've mentioned.
Drogba.
And Drogba, don't forget Drogba.
Don't ever forget Drogba.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everyone was talking about Liverpool as well. The thing is that what's going on with their defence? They spent 20 million on Lovren, 12 million on Moreno.
They've got Mankilo on loan.
They didn't look very solid though, did they?
They didn't, no, but you'd say, I think Brendan Rodgers might say, they're going to need time to gel together, right? Lovren looked very impressive the week before against Southampton. Yeah. And, you know, it was very impressive. But against City, maybe it's a bit more that they need to up their game.
A little more challenging against City.
Against the big teams.
Not to be offensive to Southampton, but...
Well, I mean, who have they brought in up front but Mario Balotelli?
Yeah, I mean, is he the answer to their problems? His record at Milan is interesting. Maybe you want to talk about your stats, whoscored.com.
More than half of his goals were from direct free kicks and penalties. And with that, his conversion rate is 8.5%, 9%, which was the lowest of any striker to score, or the lowest of any player to score more than 10 goals in Europe last season. But
you'd argue that Daniel Sturridge, I mean, he's played quite well with a partner up front, quite a lot. I mean, Ricky Lambert, he supplied the goal for him, and then with Suarez up front as well, he didn't do so bad. So
it was an own goal.
But he still supplied, you know, you get my reasoning there. Yeah, he contributed towards that. He was part of the sequence.
I do like him, just statistically. He's a little questionable. I think he's a fantastic player.
He's more of a...
And a bargain at 16 million.
Exactly.
Like, I think he'll test defences, so even if he's not the one putting it in the back of the net, he's going to make himself a nuisance to just about anyone out there. So at the end of the day, if he's just creating space and Sturridge is scoring 30 instead of 20, why not?
So Man City look fresh, Jovetic looks fresh. Why do old signings look like new signings?
That is a good question.
Thank you.
It's interesting. It's very encouraging to see Lamela as a Spurs man. He was sort of running the show against QPR on Saturday, so it's very, very encouraging to see. I think last season, you know, a lot of it made. He had a lot of injuries going on. Obviously, it's very difficult for someone that young to adapt to a new culture and league, all that sort of stuff.
He may have had Gile, Envy.
Yeah, he had to work under Tim Sherwood, and
that must have been hard.
It weren't long for the job, so
you for him, mate. Yeah, get out.
Yeah. So I think, I think it just shows that maybe it's easy to write people off after one season, and although perhaps for the money that was spent on Jovetic and Lamela, you would have expected more of an immediate impact. But yeah, it's good to see that they're sort of adjusting to the league now and doing well. Maybe we shouldn't write everyone off so fast. Maybe Marouane Fellaini's going to come good this season, who knows?
Maybe we didn't. I think we actually said that on this show. Or maybe, yeah, we did say that on this show.
Oh, we said he was like in a coma.
We said he was in a coma.
It's an interesting metaphor for that.
Yeah. Louis van Gaal's come in for some criticism, shall we say, from 1 point from 2 games. 2 games that United probably should have won. And they've signed Di Maria. People saying that's a band-aid, or is it good?
It is good in that he will make them better, but he will not make them better where they need to be, as Mesut Ozil to Arsenal last year was. He's an excellent player and definitely improved them, but not really where they needed it.
Attack is the best form of defence?
No.
No?
Defence is the best form of defence for me.
Wow.
They need a new central defender desperately. I have no idea why they're not
they probably
focusing on that.
3 players back.
Maybe they are. They still have more time in this transfer window.
They've got a couple of days. A week, is it? A week?
Yeah.
It's not a few months.
But is there anyone available?
Yeah, the thing with Man United that confuses me is they knew for a long time that Nemanja Vidic was going to go. I think it was January, February, he announced he was going to leave, and they probably knew they weren't going to renew Rio Ferdinand's contract. They probably
Well, he stopped playing football about 5 years ago.
Maybe, yeah. But they realised Patrice Evra was going to go. They realised Patrice Evra probably as well. They were willing to let him leave as well. So they've known for a long time that they need to get in defensive reinforcements.
But they've never had the consistency. David Moyes thought, listen, I'm going soon, why bother?
Yeah, but that's
David Moyes had a good list of players that he wanted, even from last summer. The players he wanted are all good. It's just whether they wanted to get them in or not.
Yeah.
They wanted to trust his.
Why haven't they signed Matt Hummels or anyone like why or Benatia? Like if they're going to go and spend 65 million on Di Maria, they could get Benatia for 30, and that's who they really need. So why not go and do that? I'm confused.
Chelsea. I believe my dances slowly.
I'm glad you did that. It was in my head. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Chelsea. Weird start for Chelsea, isn't it?
Because they've just been winning against low kind of teams.
Yeah, because they've been winning but struggling to get a win over teams that are lower down the table.
I don't think Burnley was a struggle, at all.
I think the thing is,
I think Leicester was more troublesome.
Either way, I feel like both games they didn't look like they were in top form. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're not rolling.
But even they look at City and they've got a very settled team, like pretty much the same spine and the same key players from last year, and they still look like they're not quite at top gear. Chelsea are trying to get Courtois back, isn't he? So he's like new at the back there. They got Costa up front,
who's actually looking pretty good.
Pretty good, and it looks like they're still trying to figure out like Fabregas.
I think Fabregas has probably been the most impressive new signing. Like he's just kind of slotted in like he's always been at Chelsea. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he was so good. Him alongside Matic are just phenomenal. Like I think they're going to cause a lot of trouble for teams, the two of them.
Mourinho's sort of still fine-tuning it a little bit, all these new players, so I think they're going to get stronger as they go on. They look a lot better than last season.
But these were the games that Chelsea struggled with all last season. Like if they were somehow in a relegation battle, Chelsea were likely to drop points against them. It was just a very strange. So I know people are getting a little bit carried away with themselves, but these are two games that Chelsea might have struggled with last year, and it's at 6 points from 6. So
better than Man United.
Yeah.
For one.
Hey, that's 5 difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's talk about La Liga, because Barcelona, they
looks pretty good. I thought Messi
got a 10 on Who Scored player rating.
10?
He must have been good. Yeah.
We did score twice.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's quite good at football.
Yeah.
Obviously, Barcelona didn't really live up to expectations last year. They only won. Did they win the Super Cup at the very start of the season? Maybe. Yeah, they lost to Madrid in the cup final. Obviously,
crashed out the Champions League.
Yeah, lost in the last game, so that playoff for the league title. They lost to Atletico, which
it really shouldn't have even been the last game though. Yeah. They should have lost it about 3 games. It was just bad run of results for everybody right at the end.
I think with Luis Enrique there, they'll be a lot stronger this season. So I think the title race will be as close as it was last year. Because you look at Atletico Madrid. I thought, as soon as they won the league, their team's going to get dismantled now. You see Courtois gone.
They've all gone to Chelsea.
Yeah, half the team's gone to Chelsea.
Okay, could have, yeah.
Yeah, but they brought in, Mandzukic, who else did they brought in? Oh, Griezmann. Really, very, very good players, very good signings. So I think they'll push Barcelona and Real Madrid to the title again.
Interesting. To be able to do that 2 seasons in a row is a very rare thing in La Liga, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's exciting.
Style-wise, those 3 teams are all quite different, aren't they? I quite like watching. Yeah, I mean, Barcelona still have that control element, but now they have much more kind of creative, surprising players in a different way, much more explosive as a side, rather than having that Xavi and Iniesta base to build from. And then Real Madrid and Atletico, you'd argue the counter-attack is a bit more of their game. The most expensive match of all time between Real Madrid and Barcelona. That's a lot of money.
This year, yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting El Clasico.
Good.
Boy.
Well, thank you very much for watching. We'd love to know what you think of the weekend's action in the comments below. It's been lovely to have you. Bye-bye.